Man, you should have really just said got Eric for this.
Don't make me last minute, Adam. Yes, it is. It is episode 169.
I'm so sorry, Eric.
Look, man, all right? Yeah, we got a very short, honestly, episode for you again. Not too many leaks, not too many news, but still really fun because we're basically inside of fishing season. And of course, I had to be 69 for fishing season. But we also got some new leaks as they started showing us set 11.
Yep.
And many more other goodies to come. So, without further ado, let's start this fun episode. But before that, if you're interested in buying any cards from TCG Player, please use our affiliate link down below.
Your purchases through this link help support the channel, so we can bring more videos like this straight to you guys.
And with that scripted part out of the way, let's go straight into set 11 with a interesting Dragon Empire card. Ain't that right?
Yeah, we got Stimulator, right? It's a grade 1 auto when this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater unit. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you can soul blast one to give it +10.
Until the end of that battle. Let's be clear
Yes.
here. So we saw 13k grade 1 boosters. We started with 10k grade 1 boosters in set 1. And then we saw 13k grade 1 boosters. And now we have 18k grade 1 boosters.
But for cost.
And very restricted conditions. Grade 3 unit and opponent has to be a grade 3. So overall, interesting direction.
Exactly. I mean, probably not going to be played, but it's cool that we're getting more options.
All depending on the deck. Some decks just might want that extra oomph, and I'm pretty sure any deck that runs Griffagera just might tack in some of these interesting options.
Hey, you never know. You got Vermilion coming. You might want to have that boost to hit all the attack per row.
You're not wrong. Let's not never say we did. Anyway, moving on into a grade 2 not normal blitz order for Dark States. Magical Poison Pharmacy. I gotta admit immediately, this art just hits different a little bit.
I know, it does.
But the effect hits even better because it says play this with Soul Blast 1. Dark State's not a hard cost to pay. Choose one of your Vanguards being attacked, and it gets power 10k until the end of that battle. If a trigger unit was Soul Blasted for this cost, it gets 20k instead of 10k. So a 20k blitz order.
For those who are listening, the art is actually a green little goblin stirring a pot in like a very cartoon way, almost like Yu-Gi-Oh art.
Yeah, it looks like a warlock goblin preparing potions of some sort.
I will say, it hits different, but I kind of wish we had more of this.
So the order in question, though, the effect, it's nice at 20k, technically 20k. It's a 10k shield or 20k shield, depending on what you Soul Blast. For certain decks, it's not really hard to Soul Blast a trigger, like Barrow Magnus, Greedon. Sometimes Bruce triggers can easily go into the Soul. Trust me, playing Bruce's Ride Line, Soul Charging a trigger for the grade 1 has happened more times than I can count. But to find space for this, and does a 20k shield really matter, is now the question, because we've seen, like, taking the grade 1 immediately in the question that we read before this, boosters are getting bigger, numbers are getting bigger, fuck Gendiva.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
So, do we really need more cards that with more shield values?
Yeah, actually, there's always better defensive options, in my opinion. It's always a good thing.
I mean, it does take up deck space. I think the best defense option we ever got in Vanguard when the power creep started going up was the introduction of G cards, because they didn't take away space on the deck and you still could use defense on a bigger level.
Also, I would arguably say Heal Guardians are just as good.
Well, yeah, but again, they're another card that don't take away space of a key card and still provide good enough defense. This doesn't take away space. This does take away space. You need to find space to put in this blitz order, and then you also need to see it, and then you also need to meet the conditions to get the full effect. Like, it's a good step in the right direction, but I don't think this is the fix we needed in the defensive department.
Time will tell.
On the other hand, it is a blitz order, so you can stop stuff like Flagberg, you can stop stuff like the Baldoras. Like, it just goes around certain guard restricts.
Exactly.
So there's another merit. All right, moving on. It's time to talk about Easter, even though it technically passed. Okay. Side story. It is technically, at the time of recording this, on April 16th, it is Easter where I am from. In Serbia, they technically celebrate Easter today.
So it's technically past Easter.
Yes. Anywho, we got Feltyrosa support.
Yes.
And she needed it. She really did need this. Like, holy shit, she needed this support.
This got some really good support.
Yep. We're going to start off with a grade 1 double rare Night Sky Searing Divertimento Artrude. That is a name. Anyway, her ability is auto rearguard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a Vanguard Feltyrosa and its card name, counterblast 1 and put another rearguard in the same column as this unit into Soul and draw a card. Really good, in all honesty.
The best part about this card is that this is not a once per turn.
Nope.
So if you use cards like the grade 3 from set 1 that when it's placed in the rearguard, you can stand to something in the same column as it, you can actually reuse it again.
On top of that, if you're running the original beat stick for Feltyrosa, the one that says Soul Blast 2, give 15k and put it back on the top of the deck, you can swing with this, swing with that thing as a 25 and not boost with this, whatever. When you call it again, swing with it again, put it back on the top of the deck after, drive checks have already been made, and then use this skill to draw it so your top deck is not, a normal unit.
Yeah, if you really want to, take it like that.
I mean, the problem with that grade 2 was always the fact that it went back to the top of the deck if you use the ability again.
Yeah, because you're never going to hit a defensive on your opponent's turn. You're always going to hit that.
And now you can draw the card again.
Yes.
So there's merits. Granted, it is 4 soul technically, but this does refuel you one of them. And there's other, but that's basically one idea behind it.
Yes.
Other than, the main part of this ability that you want to use, but we'll get that to the grade 3. First, we need to look at the grade 2, Traumary of Grazing Hands, Roseviffa.
These names, man, they're so good.
I'm trying my best, man. I'm really trying my best. It's a grade 2 double rare for Feltyrosa that goes auto when this unit is placed on rearguard. Other than from hand, if you have a Vanguard Feltyrosa and its card name, stand all of your rearguards in the same column as this unit, and this unit gets power 5k until the end of the turn, making it a 15k attacker, more like a 23k column because you're standing the booster behind it. And then auto rigor, when this unit attacks, you may have this unit get power 5k until the end of that battle. If you do, at the end of that battle, put this unit on the bottom of your deck. So it's a 20k beat stick on its own, technically.
With no restrictions. Other than having a Bounty or as a Vanguard.
No. So overall, it's a really good card that just does good things.
I'll tell you now, 20 is normally a bad number, but when we talk about the grade 3 here in a little bit, that's actually a 30k.
Or more, because the booster is stood or it has stood.
Yes.
One thing I do want to point out about this card, bless you. I will do you guys a favor and mute that part. And that part. You good?
Oh, God. Yeah. Man, allergies.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Anywho, what I want to point out about this card was the fact that I don't remember. I honestly forgot what I was going to mention now. It's just
this works really good with the card we just talked about earlier. Also,
yes.
Because another card that restands it and can reuse its skill again.
Yes. Anyway, now let's actually talk about the big boss unit herself. Rondo of Playnealoon whatever that word is,
Plenty.
Feltyrosa. Thank you. It's a grade 3, of course, and of course it has the dress up ability, Rondo of Eventide Moon Feltyrosa, so it counts as the other one as well. And then it hits Spicy with continuous Vanguard during your turn. If your soul has a grade 3 card with Feltyrosa in its card name, all of your front row ghost units get power 10k. And then active Vanguard once per turn costs Counter Bless 1, and until the end of turn, this unit gets Auto Vanguard once per turn. When your drive check reveals a ghost, normal unit, or a grade 3 card with Feltyrosa in its card name, you may call that card to an open rearguard. If you call the card, this unit gets drive +1 until the end of battle. This effect in red text is gained twice.
This is just a straight upgrade.
Say what you want to say.
This is just a straight upgrade. Not only does it boost all your ghosts, which is what you wanted to do because you have to go out of your way to make them bigger and actually make them threatening, but also it's only one CB to do what you were trying to do with the old one for multiple CB. Granted, you can't keep driving if you do the whole cheese with the one grade 2 that put itself in the soul to draw a card and open it up again. So you can't just keep burning CB into it to get more drives, but it does get you 2 extra drive checks most of the time for one CB.
That is a very good point. But I just mention the thing you're gonna mention. Just mention it.
What?
You know the thing. You talked about it in chat. You know the thing. Do I need to remind you?
Yes.
Why they make it a once per turn? Why they couldn't make a new symbol called twice per turn?
Oh yeah, like come on. All you had to do was just like change the color and put a 2 in front of the one turn. You had to really go out of your way to put twice on the confuse people.
Look, man, all right, maybe future card designs. We've always seen this. We've always seen stuff like this, and then they change it into a symbol. Yeah. What was a good example of that in the past? They did something with that specifically in the past, but I can't recall what it was. They made the full line of text into a symbol.
Counterblast? No,
not that.
Countercharge.
Was it? I think it was. Yeah. Oh yeah, the OGPGs.
Yeah, OGPGs used to say turn a card, flip up, and face up instead of just saying countercharge.
Yeah. There we go. Anyway, you already basically said everything. I love how it's basically a persona ride without a persona, because you have the grade 1 we talked about that puts a card into soul you boosted. And you also technically have an old ghost unit that says when something else is placed on a rear guard in the same column as it, choose a Feltyrosa from your drop, put it to soul. So if you discard a grade 3, that's another way to put a card into soul.
Yeah, it's a good way to get it immediately if you really want to trigger that.
Yep. So you basically get a pseudo persona ride without persona riding. And if you persona ride, you get 20k to the front row, basically, in a way.
Just itch it for your ride line. That's all you gotta do.
I will say one thing to the amazing upgrade of this card. Drive checking Feltyrosa does not feel bad now.
No. You finally can, as long as you don't hit a PG, which I think there's Ghost PG now.
There is Ghost PGs.
So as long as you don't hit triggers, which, I mean, no,
you want to hit triggers.
If you're hitting triggers, I think you're like feeling good, unless your opponent PG the Vanguard, then you're kind of big sad.
I mean, if you hit double triggers when you have 2 open front row rearguards, it's like, well, this is sad, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I will say one more thing. Oh, God, I lost. Yeah. Guess who's a ghost?
Who? Oh, the new
grade 3 cycle card.
Exactly.
It's a fucking ghost.
So have fun with that.
Oh, I already planned to. Anyway, with Feltyrosa out of the way, we're going to go on to the next few leaks. But before we do get on to the next few leaks, I don't know if they made it. I need to remember. But that's a good way for you guys to check it out. If Zero Damage Gaming has any lyrical or Bermuda themed deck boxes available on their site. That's where you chime in now.
Go check out their website. They might have something for you.
There we go. With Alex's wise wisdom and words, go check out ZeroDamageGaming.com. Use Top Deck Heroes for a discount. But with that being, that holy shit butchered part out of, and I've lost Alex out of the way. Let's actually move on to the next leak. and that's more festival support with the cycle cards that we just mentioned.
Yes.
This time for Ketter.
Yes. Dear God, this thing's good. We got Divine Knight of Deeply Laid
Stratagems.
Stratagems. Yes. Dear God, Bushy. I thought we were done with these interdimensional dragon of bullshit names. Anyways, a continuous rear guard and guardian circle. If your opponent's draft check or damage check reveal a trigger unit, it gets power plus 10, shield plus 10. Same as the whole cycle of these. Its other effect, though, it's auto rear guard once per turn. When this unit attacks, you can look at the top card of your deck, put it on the top or bottom, put it on the top of your deck or into your soul, then cost Counterblast 1 and perform all the following. Choose one of your opponent's power 14,000 or greater Vanguards and increase this unit's power by that unit's power until the end of battle. And then remove the overtrigger from your drop. Choose one of your other front row units, and it gets power plus 15 until the end of turn. Well, there's no downside to this.
It's actually okay. The overtrigger removal effect could have been better. Like 15k is a nice number, but it's nothing super special.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's a good number.
It's a good number, but compared to, honestly, the lyrical cycle, in my opinion, wins it. Not only do you get a bounce back, but you also get an extra multi-attack out of it.
My mindset is this. I honestly thought you could have flipped the effects of the whole, it matches the unit's power for the overtrigger cost, and I would have been like, yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah, this is on the other
But
hand.
no, it's just locked it, but they just locked it under the counterblast instead. So I'm like, dude, this is a great card.
Basically, the way this card works is the second your opponent, okay, excluding 2 decks that I'm gonna get to, anytime your opponent would hit a defensive trigger, as this card for 1 counterblast becomes immediately a 25k shield guard.
Yes.
Always. More if you put trigger effects on it, but minimum 25k shield guard. Why 25? Because it might be a base 13, and let's say your opponent hits 1 defensive trigger, it gains 23k, right? Because they hit a defensive trigger, its own ability activates and makes it a 23.
Then so the continuous gets looked at, and you get another 10k.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. If your opponent hits a defense, it puts the opponent's Vanguard at 23. This thing would gain 23k power, which on its 13 versus 23 is only a 15k shield. But because they hit a defensive trigger and increase their power, its continuous ability gives it another 10k, making it a minimum 25k shield to guard this card. Every time.
Yes.
And in emphasis on every time means even, yes, even if the opponent hits an overtrigger.
Yeah. So your opponent can't defensive overtrigger out of this thing.
No. This thing will always require a 25 shield out of hand if you have the CB to spare. And I think that's the amazing merit of this card. And look, it's Bastion support.
And if you really want to push, you can just remove that overtrigger for that extra push.
Well, it gives, choose one of your other front row units.
That's what I mean. Like if you're trying to push for like getting power on the board and trying to kill them. That's why I say like it's not that bad because if you really need it, you just remove the overtrigger and when you want to, and just go, okay, cool, I need a push.
Yeah. I will say I'm glad that the first effect, the whole match gain the power of the opponent's Vanguard, is tied behind a once per turn, because you would need, like, I'm honestly thinking about Bastion. You have to perform both, which means you gotta pick and choose when you want to give the other unit 15 if the overtrigger is available. Or when you want to match this thing's power if they hit some sort of defensives. Because, Bastion's going to restand and give them 10k more and stuff like that.
Also, you know what else is amazing about this card?
Hexorb? Sorry.
Is that it looks at the top card of your deck and put it in the top or into your soul.
Hexorb?
For no cost. It's just attack.
Yeah, not wrong.
Like, dude, like all the Hexorb support, but not only that, like any deck, it's like, cool, well, I need soul. Well, this is a great soul engine card.
Pretty much. This card just wins it overall. I think out of all the cycles next to the lyrical one, this one is probably the best.
Yeah.
There's one more thing I wanted to mention about this card, and it completely escaped me at this current moment.
That's a category 3.
Oh yeah, we already mentioned Bastion. If I remember it, I'll mention it, but I think that's all. I mean, it's oh yeah, that's right. It's tied behind your opponent hitting defensive. Like if they don't hit a defensive, this is literally just a 5k guard. That's it.
Yeah.
Not counting if it gained power from triggers, not counting if it's getting boosted. Like,
but again, I still think that the fact that you can still stack the top card of your deck.
Oh, it's
no cost.
amazing. But there's 2 decks that this will not be a minimum 25k shield to guard with. Hell, this might even not be able to hit. No, it will. Like, there's only 2 decks in standard right now that can go around your opponent hitting a defensive trigger and this thing still being active. You know which 2 decks they are? Vimen's Bruce, if they have the grade 1 in the back.
Oh.
Because it makes the Vanguard 18.
And Majesty.
And Majesty.
Fair enough.
Hey, looking at the... Oh no, that's later. Set 11 again. We got another one. But this time in Brandt Gate, a grade 1 8k Outer Space Guardian. Common and the same effect of auto rigor when this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater unit. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, Soul Blast 1 and this unit gets 10k until the end of battle. I mean, we said everything we want to say. I'm pretty sure each nation is going to get one of these. This is the new staple common of the set.
Yeah.
But with that, we can move on to the next card, a actual rare from set 11.
Yes, you got Knight of Soaring Spear.
Gwynethon.
Okay, that. Scroll up, man.
Or Gwynethau. Yeah, Gwynethau. Oh. Gwynethau's better.
Scroll up. Scroll up.
Oh.
Thank you. Anyways, it's a rare grade 2 auto. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with Graham Grace in its card name, Soul Charge 1, and this unit gets power +5 until the end of turn.
Oh my god, we're actually seeing Graham Grace support in a set?
Well, we had to have Soul Charge somewhere since it didn't give it to us in the ride line. It's all salty about that this year.
I mean, I'm liking the fact that we're starting to see actual support for Graham Grace. Graham Grace was a double rare in the last lore set. It had some generic cards that it could really run, but now we're actually seeing dedicated support outside of promos for it. I am hoping, excuse me, I am hoping that this set will include also Favernil dedicated support, because I don't remember if before or after the set, these start decks are going to drop with Favernil and Graham Grace. So it'd be nice to see they get extra support and extra loving inside a set 11 booster.
You know, it's funny. The bigger question is how long will it take for us to get this in Deer Days?
I mean, it's set 11.
I know.
Yeah.
But we did get
sorry,
Graham
we're
Grace
waiting
way
for
before we got actual Graham Grace.
Well, yeah, but that was an in-game card. That was immediately going to be available.
We'll see down the road.
Exactly. Anyway, enough being said about this card. It's a good soul charger, gains power. It's just a really good card for Graham Grace overall. I think you can. I don't see you would, but I guess this would replace Drilling Angel in a way.
I think you run both because you still need the soul.
True. Anyway, moving on. Now we can go back to Festival and look at the last 2 cycle cards for the last 2 nations. Look at that, beautiful. It's Brandt Gate and Slokea, and we're going to start off with a Brandt Gate one, Elvard X-Striker. That's a cool name.
Yeah.
That's a legit
cool
name.
art, too.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, the cycle card for Brandt Gate. Of course, it has the ability Rearguard Guardian Circle continues your opponent's dry check, damage check, reveal a trigger unit. This unit gets 10k power, 10k shield. But here is the effect. Act. I think this is our first act ability. Rearguard. Once per turn, costs Soul Blast 1 and perform all of the following. Until the end of turn, this unit gets a boost and power 2k, make it a 15k booster. And then costs remove an over trigger from drop, and this unit gets continuous back row rearguard. All of your front rear units get power 5k until the end of turn. So it's a half persona ride for removing the over trigger, and it's a 15k booster on its own. Compared to the other card we read, not that good, but honestly not bad.
It's not bad, but it's also not the strongest of all of them.
No, you don't get your orders, you don't get Most of the mechanics your Brandt Gate units want. 15k boosters, nice. Like, I see hard play in this card in standard. Where I do see this card completely be fucking broken is Dimension Police in premium.
Yeah.
It's a grade 3.
Yeah.
It's a 10k shield. If you have, your Geoma glasses open, it's more. And then also it's a booster.
And it bumps your front row from the back row.
If you see the overtrigger, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, not a bad card. I don't think it's standard viable just yet, or maybe I'm missing a deck. I got all these Brandt Gate decks in my head, and I can't think of one of them that this is good because it's not a monster. You can't go put it in Arkwright. It does it in prison, so it's kind of useless in jail. In Eva, it could be used, but if we get the grade 2 promo, that's a better booster and a better card overall. Like, I
will say it's also interesting seeing that this is a Brandt Gate support card that doesn't mean the first time I've seen one that's like a larger rarity that doesn't mention anything about a set order.
Hey now, what is this Messiah Stride deck set?
I know, I'm just saying, like it's interesting.
I feel. Anyway, let's see if the Stoicheo one is either as good or better or more worse.
Spoiler alert, this card is dumb. We got Miring Flower Maiden Florence. It's the same effect of, the whole damage trigger thing, get the shield and power.
Yep.
Auto rear guard, when this unit attacks, it's not even a cost. Discard the top 2 cards of your deck and perform all of the following. It's already great right there. Soul Charge 1. And this unit gets power +5 until the end of turn for all of the discarded cards whose costs are not normal unit. This card gets power +15 instead.
You forgot the word if in there.
Sorry, if. But yeah, if all the cards are, like, if you hit all either orders or triggers, you get it gets +15 instead.
God damn.
And then cost, remove an over trigger from your drop. Choose a normal unit from your drop and put it into your hand.
God damn.
Are these even costs?
I mean, technically, you're milling 3 cards from the top of your deck.
Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. If you put this in Zorga, where this is probably going to shine the most, you're probably going to attack with this thing. You're going to mill 2 cards. You're probably going to hit triggers or orders because it's Zorga. And you're probably going to get +15. So this becomes a 28-38 if they hit a trigger on its own.
Yeah.
Then,
not to mention, good sir, you're technically milling 3 because you're milling 2 and soul charging 1. You're using 3 cards on top of your deck.
Then, if you remove the over trigger, you can probably grab the Persona Ride that you're looking for in that deck.
Oh god, this thing's actually good. Like, I can also see it implications in a lot of other decks. In Leonor, it's just a good beat stick. And just getting cards back in Maggie even. It's a beat stick.
Mm-hmm. This thing becomes like a 28 on its own if you're trying to hit the trigger. Without the other effects.
Good sir, no. If you mill 2 non-normal units in Maggie, this is a 33k attacker.
Yeah.
43 if they hit a trigger.
More likely it's only going to get +5 in Maggie, but still, even then.
I mean, it can happen. You can mill 2 crits.
It's true.
But still, even it being a 23 to attacker on its own, that's magic numbers for Maggie.
And this builds Soul, so this is a great support card for Leonor.
Yep. Overall, this card has merit. The Brandt Gate one, I think, is the most disappointing one of all. Sad to say. Granted, the Dragon Empire's one is not that good either.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a kind of mid.
Yeah. But yeah, that was all the Cycle G3s from Festival that all nations got. Some are, of course, better. Some are, of course, worse. We all saw all 6 of them, but who knows what kind of Cycle type mechanics we're going to be getting in the future since we saw the Grade 2s, Grade 3s. Maybe we get some Cycle Grade 1s. That'd be cool.
I like what you're doing. Keep it up.
Anyway, moving forward, this was revealed all on the Thursday stream, and as per usual on the Thursday streams, some extra spices revealed in the sense of promos. We got some new promo packs looking forward to. And we're going to start off with the V promos as per usual. This time for Tachikaze, we got Savage Wrecker. It's, of course, the grade 2 gimmick that we've seen for V promos recently. And, of course, the first ability goes Auto Vanguard Rearguard. Once per turn, when this unit attacks while boosted, Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your rearguards and put the top card of your deck as an equip gauge for that unit. Then this unit gets power 5k until the end of turn for each of that unit's equip gauges. Depending on what kind of deck structure you're playing, this can get really stupid really fast. And then, of course, the auto hand in the beginning of your ride phase, your Vanguard's grade 1 or less, discard this card, look at the top 5 of your card, choose up to one grade 2 or less card from among them, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. Yada, yada, yada. Again, not a bad card. Like, depending on what kind of gauges you have on the board, this card can become a really big beast stick. Plus, it's gauging. Like, Tachi want the gauge. The other side of the coin, though, we got a different kind of card. Ain't that right?
Yeah, we got a Spiral Breaker. It's a Nova Grappler. Yeah, Nova Grappler support card. Auto Vanguard Rearguard once per turn when it attacks while boosted. Cost Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your other rear guards and stand it. If your Vanguard's graded 3 or greater, stand all of your other rear guards in the same column as this unit.
Your opponent's Vanguard.
Yes, sorry. And then auto the whole, discard, fixing your ride. Okay, I don't think people have noticed this or not.
They have.
This card is dumb. It's a restanding Vanguard that they didn't know about.
Choose one of your other rear guards and stand it. If your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, stand all of your rear guards in the same column. You're not wrong, but your opponent needs to be grade 3 or greater.
Yeah, but if you're on grade 2, you're trying to play a grade 2 game, you just stand your booster and you keep standing Vanguard for Soul Blast.
Your opponent needs to be grade 3 or greater. If you're grade 2 attacking and you're attacking into a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, you're not game 2 gaming them. You're letting them stride while you're a grade 2.
Or they jump ride.
Also, I'm talking about premium, but for V, you're letting them stay on their main grade 3 for their turn.
But it is an option. You can,
They made sure that the Aqua Force is the only restanding Vanguard with this ability. Let's not break it. This card does have other merits, however, because it does stand 2 units for the cost of 1. So Buster plays are basically a Soul Blast 3, flip 2 cards, gain 2 drive checks, which, is good. And then I saw TIE Fighter's tweet, shout out to the man, where he showed 2 key cards and just said, yeah, with 1 Soul Blast, I'm able to stand 4 units, technically 2 columns. You know how? If you attack correctly, you can even, I think, restand this again. But basically, this, with any booster, combined with the stand trigger that says when it's stood, I think put it back to deck shuffle and stand one of your other rear guards. And combined with the grade 1 from the first V set that says when a unit in front of this stands, stand this unit.
Fair.
So yeah,
granted, this is a once per turn though, so you can't abuse it, but it's still really. Good.
Still standing a column is standing a column. Depending on what kind of combos people make, this can get really out of hand really fast.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's enough of V. Now we get to look at 3 new out of 6 D promos, and we're gonna start off with Lyrical. This one is Refreshing Time Porsche. It's a grade 2 10k. Yes, these are promos. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard, Soul Blast 1, put all of the cards from your bind zone into the drop. Bind the top card of your deck, and if it's a trigger unit that was bound, draw a card. So immediately in my head, for only standard, this I think is meant for Angels to kind of fix your bind zone in a way.
Yeah, kinda.
In a way, because in my head, I don't know any other Lyrical deck that works off of bind zone, even of the new 6 that we got in set 3, right? Nobody works with bind zone in Lyrical, does they?
Yes and no. So themselves working on the bind zone is only Celestial, but this is the funnest tech card to play against Messiah.
Oh yeah. This is the funnest tech card to play against Messiah. This is the funnest tech card to play against Soldier Doji. If they decide to... Actually, no. He bounces them back to their hand.
He bounces them back to the hand. But you can't... But this card... this card does do against the Messiah matchup is if you're playing a deck like Medial or something, it brings them stuff back from drop.
Yeah.
You can just say, I'm going to Soul Blast, reset my drop. And we're playing the game again instead of you saying I don't get to play the game.
Pretty much. Overall, I want to see where this card goes. It might be future lyrical support. Because like I said, other than Celestial and like you said, matchups, there's no real merit to this card anywhere else. Now that's standard. If we jump over to premium, holy fucking shit. Narukami's dead.
Yeah, this is the funnest Narukami counter card I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, you have like 12 cards in my bind zone because you either did Vowing or you did what's the fucking grade 3 called? The reverse.
Vowing Saber reverse?
Vowing, yeah. Vowing or what's the strike called? Damn, I'm forgetting all these names.
Stunverse.
Stunverse, yeah. I got like a super ton amount of bind zone. Let me just reset it and put one there.
This isn't like the craziest counter for Stunverse because you only got one Stunverse and most of the time they're just first starting Stunverse now, but
this is a good counter for anything else. Imagine back in the day. Hell, even imagine this. Imagine this. I don't remember the full card effect. You can potentially remind me. But if Lyrical has any way, and I think they do because I saw Echo do this against me, of bouncing cards and calling cards during your opponent's battle phase, you can call this when they go into GB8 and just fuck their turn.
If they ever get to that point.
But this is a little bit of nostalgia. I remember you GB8ing me or Narukami way too many times.
Yeah.
But
otherwise, it's a fun tech card.
Yeah. Overall, yeah, that's about it. Moving on! Your turn.
Oh boy.
Don't gush too much about this.
Oh boy. We got Magnolia support in the form of a grade 2 Friendship Fairy. Act rear guard. If you have a Vanguard with Magnolia in his card name and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, cost Counterblast 1 and put this unit into your soul. Choose one grade 4 unit with Magnolia in his card name from your hand and ride it as stand. Boys, we go in full tilt.
To be fair, this affects nothing new. We saw this in Dragon Empire back in the day with Nirvana. There is a couple of differences though.
Whoa. I want you to know that for a while, that Mahar Nirvana was topping everywhere for a while because of just being able to jump right.
I know. I faced against it. I think I lost to one and beat one in top 8 in Germany or something like that.
But I feel like Magnolia is a more impactful grade 4 than Mahar.
There's 2 key differences to the Mahar grade 1 here, though, or technically Nirvana, because it technically could be used in Jahiva as well. The first difference is this: it's not a grade 1. That one was a grade 1. This is a grade 2. That's like a very small difference. But the bigger difference is that you can only do this if by rewriting grade 4. You can go from grade 3 to grade 4, and you can use this effect again if you want to go from grade 4 to grade 4. And that's it. Oh my. There is no merit to do it. Hold up, let me finish my thought before I say something stupid. So unlike Nirvana, where you can technically persona ride, this can't do that.
Yeah.
Or not even persona ride, just ride, because we already established persona ride doesn't happen during the main phase. You can't do the thing.
I will say though, this is funny because it does say grade 3 or greater, so you can still go grade 3, grade 4 on the grade 4.
I was going to go to that. You know what you can technically do?
Keep pulling out inlet pulses for CB.
That's the smart play, yes. You know what you can technically do? You're a grade 3, right? Counterblast 1, put this to soul. Ride grade 4 Maggie, pull this out of soul. Counterblast 1, put this to soul. Ride grade 4 Maggie, pull it out of soul. There's no merit. No actual merit of doing that unless there's a certain effect that says when your Vanguard's plays do more shenanigans. There's actually no merit to doing that.
Sadly,
but it's funny that you can.
But you know what's even funnier about this card? Is now that you can immediately on turn 3 goat.
Yep.
Because you ride grade 3, tuck goat into your soul. You don't get the power doesn't you're gonna lose the power sadly, but as soon as you use this skill, you ride grade 4 and you pull the goat back out of your soul.
Yep. Overall, like, holy shit. I can't wait to test this. Or maybe I don't. I don't want to be on the receiving end of this.
I'm about to say, yeah, you're like, so imagine like their turn 4 play and you're like, okay, cool. I have a turn to prep for it. Now it goes, okay, cool. They went from straight from grade 2 to grade 4 and they're getting 6 attacks.
To be fair, this only happens if you go second.
Yes. But if you went first in Magnolia, you already did a lot too.
Well, yeah. Your Maggie's still swinging for 4 times with a 1 CB. Like, you're still doing stuff.
Yeah.
Is there ways to draw during main phase to potentially get your Magnolia grade 4 into hand?
During main phase? No, not really.
Isn't there that grade 1 that says Persona Ride at the back row that does that technically?
No.
Doesn't it search Maggie's?
It searches Magnolias, yeah, but it doesn't search this.
No. I'm talking about, let's say you miss grade 4, right?
Oh, yeah. Technically, yes, you can use Sorol to end a main phase, search it.
And then use this to go into grade 4 nonetheless.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Anyway, enough of this card. Man, these promos take a lot of time. And this one's probably going to take as much time to talk about because we got
this
a
is
new...
even better.
Dude, we got a new set order for Dragon Empire. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is their first set order. I don't think Dragon Empire ever got a set order.
Yeah, this is the Dragon Empire's first set order.
If it's not, please let me know in the comments. I'll look at it later and maybe put it in editing if I'm right or wrong. But this is a Dragon Empire set order. It's a grade 1 set order. And I think it's very obvious in what deck it goes because its name is Chakabarafi Dance Saiyan. Oh my god, this actually does say Saiyan. Anywho, screaming out of the way. Auto. When this card is put into the order zone or discarded from hand for the cost of your Vanguard's ability, if you have a Vanguard with Nirvana, its card name, draw a card. I did not read that part on the first translation. I don't even think it said Vanguard's ability. Now it changes things a little bit, but continuing, this is why you wanted an order zone. Continuous order zone. If you have a Vanguard with Nirvana in its card name, when your rear guard with Verena in its card name would be put into the deck or bind zone by your opponent's card effect. Put all of the Trickstar from the unit's original dress into your hand and put that unit and the rest of the original dress into the drop. Holy shit.
I want to just note something that for those that are confused of why it said how you play this card, you just play it. So
you either play it from hand because it doesn't have any cost and you draw a card, which is fucking good. But if you have multiples in your hand, you can basically do this. You can play one from hand to draw a card. Then you can use Nirvana's ability, either old Nirvana or Jehiva, and discard this to put it in the order. Does it put itself in the order zone?
No.
Cost for order zone or discard from hand for the cost of your Vanguard. Okay, no. If you ditch it, you ditch it. It's not in order zone.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about the dog for Vestra. But my point is, like, you can ditch it for Nirvana's ability, get either Trickstar from the OG or Trickstar and a Prey Dragon for the new one, and still draw a card. You basically get a free unit on the board with this card.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. And against certain matchups where this is needed, it is preventing your pieces and Trickstars, more importantly, from going away.
Yeah. So it just does what you want it to do, which is put stuff into your drop so you can reuse it again. Yep.
It doesn't get bound and it doesn't get to the bottom of the deck. Now let's actually talk real here. The only decks that this secondary effect of bounding and putting the bottom deck is actually key is for bind is Messiah, Soja Doji, technically Eva if they play the grade 2 order. And technically any Dragon Empire deck that runs the generic bind. Oh no, that's generic retire then bind, so not even Dragon Empire. I think that's it. I think it's only those 3. I can't remember any other deck that binds.
No.
There you go. As for bot deck, it's basically Ketter and Tempest.
The only deck that I think this card doesn't save you from is Jail.
Yep. It doesn't save from Jail, and it doesn't save from Ye Old Retire.
But Ye Old Retires kind of what you want in the first place.
You're not wrong. Like, as long as you got Vils in hand or other stuff, you can easily remake your board.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is actually a really good card. This is a hella fucking good card.
Yeah.
It's just extra pluses on top of it, already what it is.
This is essentially Welstra's dog for Nirvana.
Pretty much. Like I said, unlike Feltyrosa Drog, if it's discarded, it does not go to Order Zone. But against matchups, let's say I'm facing something that retires, right? I'm not going to put this in Order Zone. There's no point to put it in Order Zone. Let me just ditch it and draw a card and get 2 units on the board for free.
Yeah, I was going to say, also, the fact, I think, do you have to have a Nirvana Vanguard when it's placed in Order Zone?
If you have a Vanguard with Nirvana in its card name, when you're rigor, no. To place it in Order Zone, no. You don't have to. Actually, discard a hand cost. If you have a Vanguard with Nirvana in its card name, draw a card. Yeah, you have to have Nirvana, so you can't play this in the early game.
Okay.
It's a grade 1 order, so you can technically play it, but you don't get any benefits out of it.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want to play it. Like most of the stuff, the set order effect works on is late game anyways, so most of those effects are going, your opponent's going to be at a grade 3 before they do that stuff anyways. Pretty much.
There's also kind of making me scared that we're going to see a future deck that binds a shit ton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait. Doesn't Vermilion only attacks, right? He doesn't bind.
Murakami binds.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, that's been it for the new promos. As per usual with these promo packs, they also include some reprints. And this time around, there's some cool-ass reprints. First one is for Diabolos, the great one I mentioned a little while ago, that gives your Vanguard, the thing in front of it during Final Rush 5k power. Now, with new environments, this basically means your environments boost can be 18k on your opponent's turn as well. So that's a cool reprint. And then we get the set order for Orphis that makes a Shadow Army token. And I gotta admit, that fucking art is amazing.
Dude, that art looks nice.
It is amazing.
Imagine that in foil too.
Huh?
Imagine it also in foil.
Oh, don't make me laugh. Anyway, the last card to be included in these packs is a plant token. So just a different art plant token, that's it.
Yeah.
Simple, straightforward. Exactly. Now, of course, there's 3 more cards that are going to be leaked in this set that we're probably going to see them next time or in the next future stream, which means we're still going to need Dark Stage, Brandt Gate, and Ketter. And if they're on the same level as these 3 cards, oh shit.
I'm assuming I'm gonna say this here. I'm gonna say that Ketter and Brandt Gate are also gonna be the same as Stoic. Yeah.
Let's not and never say we did. Let's not and never say we did. Please no.
Bastion Prime right out the gate.
I'm more worried about jail. Oh, let me go to grade 3. Let me say I have enough CB because, you know, whatever. Oh, let me go to grade 3. Cannabis 2, jail 2 of your rear guards. Oh, you had a decently full board? All right, cool. Cannabis 1, put the soul. Rewrite. Cannabis 1, give me 6 more cards. Let me just get 8 of them in the best case scenario from your field into my thing already.
In all fairness, the deck needs it.
You're not wrong. I do want to point out, and I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Echo did point this out. If the stars align, going second 3 CB, going first 4 CB. No, other way around. Turn 3, 4 CB. Turn 4, 3 CB. You know what you can do? You can potentially jail 12. Because let's say you went second, right? That's the 4 CB combo on turn 3. Ride normal snow. Cannabis 1, ride pure light. Cannabis 1, get 6. Cannabis 1, put the soul. Cannabis 1, ride another pure light, get another 6.
Oh, yeah, you can do that, yeah.
Yeah. It's only 3 CB on turn 4, because on turn 4, you can normal ride it from hand, use 1 CB, and rewrite another one.
And take 4 cards out of their hand.
4 cards out of hand, 4 cards out of soul, 4 cards out of field, max. So at max, you can have 12. On average, on minimum, you're going to get at least 4 cards out of their hand.
Hey, I mean, that's still pretty good.
I know, right? It's a 3 CB combo, but you know.
3 CB, 2 cards out of your hand, but 4 out of theirs.
But also 4 specific cards, or 3 to 4 specific cards in hand.
Yeah.
Which, with snow players, just finding 1 pure light in hand, it's already difficult. You know, I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Well, there we go. So we'll see whenever these new promos get revealed what they're going to do, because it's going to be very interesting. Moving on, though, to the last card of the leaks. We have one more card from Set 11. It's a common, but it's a very interesting common at that. Ain't that right?
Yeah, you got a Prosperous Maiden Elaria. Auto Warrior Guard. When your other unit attacks, if this is the fourth battle of this turn or more, cost retire this unit, and that attacked unit that attacked gets power plus 10,000 till the end of battle.
Yeah, basically on the fourth attacking unit gains plus 10k. That's it. You play Stoke for the most part. Where does this fit in? Maybe potentially see space in.
Flagberg is really the only thing I see this in. I mean, you could play as a Maelstrom, maybe. I guess technically, Leonorn could use this.
You can technically play this in Grenfia to give you the last attack a little bit extra oomph.
Yeah. This is a grade 1 or a grade, it's a grade 2, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a grade 2.
Grade 2.
Leonor, maybe.
If you swing with a Momoke token on the fourth battle, I guess.
But that's almost impossible, because even if you swung Rearguard first, Vanguard second, most of the time you want to swing with Momoke third.
Yeah. Most of the decks, though, you can use this in. The only decks I think it'd be good in is Flagberg.
Oh, there we go.
Because the fourth attack is usually the one where you're trying to really push for over defenses.
Well, technically, you can play this in Zorga and on the fourth attack.
No. No.
I said technically, all right?
No.
Anyway, we're going to end the leaks there, because that's been it for this past week. But before we go to the next part, if you're interested in getting any of the cards we just mentioned, go check out Triple Sleeve TCG.
They got great deals on singles, coin splits, and even cases. Check out the website.
Link will be in the description. All right, so I lied on being short episode because I did not expect us to rant that much about certain cards, but I'm glad we did. For next week, we are looking at Tuesday's stream featuring special corner information before the event for Bushiroad Card Game Festival 2023. That's the same card game festival. I think it's called the Vanguard. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that will be releasing Festival in Japan before its official release on May 12th. Which means by that time we should see all the festival cards completely leaked. Mm-hmm. And then also on Tuesday, revealing Sing With Me Laurel Nero and release cards from Booster Set Festival 2023, as well as information of included cards. Basically, Laurel Nero support. And I think she was moved from the 25th of April to the 18th of April, kind of to expedite her release. It's interesting. What I'm actually more interested of is the next Thursday stream on April 8th. April 18th. The one with Laura Nail is going to reveal one more very spicy card. This is the actual thing I'm going to be looking forward to. In Festival, a new Overtrigger Fairy King of Ignition Venot, as well as a new Regalia's piece.
Yeah, so those cover cards that we thought were Crit Elementals are going to be Overtriggers.
Well, they are Crit Elementals.
So yes,
just nationless Overtriggers.
Overtriggers. And I can't remember who stated this.
If it was in our group chat, it was me.
I think it might have been Outer Orange. I don't know. Somebody said that the Overtriggers could have an effect that puts them into drop, so that they work with the new cycle cards.
That could be cool. That could really be cool, but only time will tell on that aspect. As for the next Thursday stream, the Dokkan stream, Festival Booster 23-3, a new Overtrigger, new Regalia's piece. Also, new promo for Gekkan Bushiroad Youth Break Volume 2 Shop Tournament 5-pack. So basically, next week, if I'm understanding this correctly, we are going to see both Overtriggers and both Regalia pieces leaked in the same week.
Yep.
I know what that V-Times thumbnail is going to look like. So, regarding the Overtrigger, there's probably been other people speculating that these might be Overtriggers from the way they looked when they first leaked. stuff like that. Not long ago, me and Eric actually discussed what these might be, and I did bring up the idea that it might be the overtriggers because, and Alex knows this, we talked about it in the group chat as well. I had an inkling feeling this was going to be the overtrigger because the first nationless overtrigger we got in the start decks at the beginning of V or D looked very similar in design. I'll pop up the picture of all three on the screen. Looked very similar in design as these two, and I was like, wait a minute, what if these are overtriggers?
I will say that I'm really liking this festival collection for one reason. Outside of perfect cards, you can just tell somebody to pick up festival boosters, and because of the trigger, the PGs are even reprinted too.
Yeah,
but you can get reprinted PGs, reprinted effect triggers, and you get an over trigger in here.
This will be the booster to get to kind of round out everything if you want to play Vanguard.
Yeah, like for people that you're trying to get new into the game, you should be able to get all of your good staple pieces out of this booster.
Pretty much. What kind of pull rates are going to be? I do not care until the actual thing comes out and we stream it. Potentially.
Yes.
Which we need to figure out how many of this we're actually getting. We have not discussed that one bit.
Oh, I got some stuff to talk to you about that later.
Oh, no. I'm half looking forward to it. But other than that, the only bit of news we can discuss more is the fact that for the English side, we did get a release date for Set 11, and that will be September 15th. Clash of the Heroes.
Maybe in time for BSF?
I think BSF will start. I think it misses BRO. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it comes out right after BRO. Because I think BRO is in August.
Not 100% sure, and I will not say without knowing for a fact. But one thing I do know for a fact, we're going to end this episode here because we went for about an hour. We talked everything we need to talk about, and we got to get lyrical stuff done.
Exactly.
So, thank you everybody so much for watching episode 169. Sorry, Eric. Of V-Time. If you liked the episode, please like, share with your friends, comment down below what you think the overtrigger is going to do. Leave the whole, we should ban them from the game already. Just think what they're going to do. Like, give me some interesting and creative effects of what these overtriggers might do. I've already talked to Eric. He's like, ooh, maybe they're going to be cancel the opponent's overtrigger type effects.
We shall see.
And but if you like what we do here, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell to get notified. Maybe become a member for some awesome perks. And follow us on all the socials. With all that being said, I've been Philip.
This is Alex.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Part of me was like, not even joking, like almost a week ago today, a part of me was like, oh my God, these are overtriggers. I'm locking it. I'm staking my life on the fact that they're overtriggers.
Hey, man, could have got some money off of bets.
Or I could have lost everything.